Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Coach Gerald Lami podcast. I'll be bringing you content with some of the best sport personalities around the world and sharing their journey with the listeners and inspiring the next generation. Today, I've got a special guest. I've played with this person. I've spent a lot of time with this person. Someone that I hold in high regards. I would like to introduce today Ulysse Obame. Welcome, Ulysse.
Yes, hello everybody. Hello everybody. Thank you for having me, Gerald.
Nah, no problem, man. Thank you for taking your time out as well. And just, I know we're in a situation at the moment, but still, thanks for taking your time out, man.
Yeah, it's all right. No problem, bro. It's a pleasure.
So just so the listeners can get to know you more, talk to us about where you grew up as a child.
Basically, I was born in France. Then I went really early back in Gabon, which is the country of my parents and mine as well, obviously. So I stayed there until like 7, 8 years old. Then I went back to France, and and then I grew up in Paris mainly. I first went back to Dijon, and then I stayed there 2 years, and then I went back to Paris, and I lived my life there until like 17, I think. Then I went to England because of football, and yeah, from then I just started traveling all around the world because of football.
Beautiful, man. So just like going back to France and Gabon, like what was the difference, would you say, like in terms of France and Gabon, in terms of living?
Um, Honestly, to me, there was not so much difference. Obviously, like for example, my family was not poor or anything, so I was even when I was in Gabon, I was living good. So I would say mainly the weather and that's it. The weather and the way as well. The how could I say that? The way they educate people over there, is
Mm-hmm.
different. It's different.
Mm-hmm.
That's mainly the two things.
And what, like growing up in France, like what sort of, because in the UK it's quite similar anyway to like inner city like Paris and things like that, where I grew up in London. So a lot of people think that it's different, but we go through a lot of things, a lot of the same things. Like what sort of stuff did you go through when you was in France, like when you was younger? What was there any troubles when you grew up or anything like that?
Oh yeah, of course, of course,
Yeah.
of course. Especially, especially the area I came from. Well,
Yeah.
basically, when I came back, as I told you, I was in Dijon, which is like a nice city. Like everything is quiet and stuff. But then my mom and I, we went back to Paris because my dad was still in Paris when we went to Dijon. We went back to
Okay.
Paris in what city? In one city called Evry. Is like the department. The postcode is 91. So obviously over there is very far from like central Paris. So not so many things to do, and you have like 3, 4 different areas like close to each other. But so there was fightings and like mainly like in London, like but the difference
Mm,
between France and London and England, I would say like in France we use more to fight with our fists and stuff, but in England you can just get stabbed for no reason. So yeah, but there was a lot of fights, and when you're young, you have this adrenaline, so you're just doing stupid stuff.
mm.
So
So I guess in your case and a lot of young boys coming up, they transferred that adrenaline to maybe like football. So what inspired you to start playing football?
honestly, me though, the player that made me want to play was Ronaldinho. When I saw him play, I was like, "Oh, who's this guy?" So
Yeah.
yeah, that's the main reason why I started. And then sometimes when you're outside, the football is the sport where you can play everywhere. So you just find, let's say you find a rock, you have like your shoes, you put your shoes, you say, okay, from there to there, this is the goalpost, and then you
Mm.
you have to start scoring and stuff. So yeah, I think that's why I started this sport, and yeah, I felt in love with it, so I kept going.
Would you say you learnt a lot of like your fundamentals playing in the streets?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Especially in Paris, like the difference in between Paris and London, for example, like
Mm.
you see a lot of people playing in the street in France, in Paris and stuff. Whereas in England, okay, to play, they will go to either a five-a-side pitch or something like that, But in France, like you literally play anywhere you
Mm,
play, So either it's indoor or even just like in front of your yard or you know.
mm-hmm,
But yeah, like everybody plays football in France mainly. So yeah,
mm.
it's been a big
So
part of.
you, so you obviously you got your foundation from playing street football. So tell us, when did football actually start becoming serious for you? Tell us about your journey from football.
Well, I think it started. I became serious about it around like I think 14, 15, because anytime people was asking me what do you want to do later on,
Mm,
I couldn't see myself, working in the office or anything like that. So I was like, I'm gonna be a footballer. So yeah, that's when I started being very serious about it. Before that, I was just playing to enjoy myself and because I liked it, but I didn't know yet I wanted to make it my job. But
mm,
because okay, sometimes when you're young, you will say, "Yeah, I want to be a footballer and stuff." But when you grow up, you start seeing that okay, I need discipline. I need to do this. I need to be, I need to be serious about it. So once I saw this, and I knew that I was willing to do the effort and to live like a healthy life, if I can say it like that.
mm-hmm.
That's when I knew I really wanted it. But before that, I wouldn't say that I was really focusing on being a professional player. So yeah, around 14, 15. That's when I knew.
Okay. So did you go into a setup straight away, or was you playing local football, or did you
No,
go
no,
into
no.
academy?
Yeah, I was playing local football first, and
Mm,
after that, at first, I played. I started as a striker, and then I went as a goalkeeper,
mm-hmm.
and I've played a long time as a goalie, as you know already, as I told you already. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and then actually it switched when I went to England.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but I went. Yeah, I was playing local football up
Mm-hmm.
to 15. Then I went to one academy in France called Amiens. They are in first division now, but when I went there, they was in second division in France. And yeah, I stayed there 1 year. Then after I went to England, I had to I had to go to a trial for Blackburn Rovers. When back when Steven Nzonzi was playing for them,
Mm-hmm.
and basically I was meant to go. I don't remember the exact date, but yeah, I was meant to go something like okay, let's say Friday or something. And I texted the guy a day before the date where the trial was supposed to happen, and he told me that the thing passed already like the previous day. So basically I
Okay.
was yeah so basically I was stuck there. I stayed at my cousin's house in Bristol, and then I was thinking what am I going to do and stuff, and then I went to London for a bit. I started training with some guys there, and one guy from AFC saw me. He told me, "Why don't you come down in AFC Wimbledon?" Then I said, "Yeah, why not? I'm actually looking for a team and stuff." So I went there and I signed and I started playing for them. And yeah,
So how was how did you get the connection to go to England? Was it just because you had family there, or?
no, no, no. I had a friend there, which is still there. He's still there. I had a friend there, so back in the day, we was thinking, okay, let's just get our stuff. We're going to England because we knew like not to disrespect like English academies or stuff like that, but the difference between France and England academies to me is very big. I mean, like because as I said, in France we play like street football and stuff, so to me, like French academies are better than English academies. So we went there. We was like, okay, we're just going to find a team. Ask them if you can train with them, and show them what we are capable of. So so yeah, we went there. We went to like several teams, but they said no because we was like seven of us.
Mm,
So so they said they said no, it's not possible and stuff. So yeah, some of us went back, some stayed, and yeah. So after I trained in with one guy in I think it was East London,
mhm.
and yeah, that's when the AFC Wimbledon guy saw me.
Wow. So just to go back to what you were saying in terms of like the academies, like
Yeah.
What would you say the academies in France are like? Would you say they're more technically gifted, or just in terms of like the coaches, do they give better advice? Like in your opinion, what would you say the difference was?
From what I saw, I would say a bit of both, a bit of both,
Mm,
but mainly technically gifted, and also tactically. In England, as you know, even you see it in the Premier League, is not
mm,
so tactic. Is not so tactical. So
mm.
yeah, I would say those two things, technically and tactically.
Okay, okay. So after your time at AFC Wimbledon, where did you go? Where did you end up?
After AFC, I went to France for a bit. I started training with one team there because they did okay. I was disappointed, not to sign a professional contract with them. So I was like, okay, let me just get back to the normal life, kind of. And I started training with one amateur team over there. I was like, I'm going to work and get some money on the side by
Mm,
working and playing football, and try to open up a business and stuff. But then one
okay.
friend of mine was playing in Cyprus here, and he told me his team was looking for players. So I was like, yeah, why not? Why not go there? And yeah, I went there on trial. I signed, and yeah, from then everything went well.
And that's when we met.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
That's where we met. Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you. I'm just gonna say my side of the story. So
yeah,
I remember it was my birthday, and no, it was like 2 days before my birthday or something like
yeah,
that, and I
yeah,
got a phone call, and it was from Mimi, and Mimi said
yeah,
he's got a team out there in Cyprus, etc. Blah blah. And at that time, I was playing in like fourth, fifth division in England,
yeah,
and he said, "Do you want to come out here?" And I said, "You know what? I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for it." But I wasn't expecting for him to say you have to come out like tomorrow.
mm,
And literally like the next day was my birthday. So I said, you know what? All right, cool. I'm gonna go for it. I spoke to my family, spoke to my friends about it, and they're just like, yeah, go for it. So anyway, I remember, I remember on the first day I came into the house and you had no top on. You were just cooking, I think, or something like that.
yeah,
And from there, me getting to know you, I was like, yeah, this guy, you just love to do your press ups, you love to cook and things like that. But you never once like your aura, your attitude was never like, oh, who's this guy or whatever coming. Do you know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Like you was always welcoming and things like that. So, but yeah, like what was your experience? So when you went to Cyprus, how did you feel about being there? Like, did you want to go back or did you just say like, yeah, this is gonna be my place?
Now, honestly, when I came, I liked it. I saw it as an
Mm,
opportunity. To prove
mm,
myself and to obviously to get back into the professional world. So obviously, it's not as good as England, France, or anything like that. But
mm,
it's still professional leagues. So yeah, it was a good opportunity. To sign a professional contract, and also you're training every day and stuff like that. As I told you in France, in this amateur team I was training with, it was only twice a week. So I was getting tired of this. When you're coming out of something professional where you're training every single day,
mm,
and then you go to some place where you're just training twice a day, sometimes, I mean, twice a week, sometimes people are not even coming and stuff. You
mm.
feel like, oh, where am I, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but people must like because the thing about I want people to understand. Like, obviously, me and you know, but I want you to like kind of share your experience because even though we was in the same place, obviously, you was going through your own things. I was going through my own things as well. But people, I don't want people to think that the time when we was at Cyprus, like it was just yeah, we had fun. I would say we had fun, and it was good, and we connected, and like even now, like look, a couple years down the line, we're still talking. But in terms of like the lifestyle like share your experience like like what how was it for you in terms of because obviously we had to share there was like how many was it in the house it was like there was
yeah,
probably
like
like four or
four of
five of us
us.
in the house at the time.
Yeah,
Do you know what
yeah,
I mean? So like
yeah.
share your experience like what was you going through.
Yeah, no, obviously it was not easy, it was not easy, but at the end of the day, it's about knowing what you want, it's not
Mm,
always gonna be easy. So to get where you want to go, you're going to have difficulties. So So you just have to take them as it is, just like right now with the situation, it's difficult time, but what can you do? The thing is
mm,
there, so you have to adapt. As I said, like you have to get the most of the situation, not let the situation get the best of you.
mm,
So yeah, but yeah, going there, when I went there, the pitch was okay. The facilities was not
mm,
so bad. Obviously, there was like
yeah,
four of us sharing a place, but then
mm,
we were young, so it was
mm,
to me honestly, I didn't mind. I didn't mind.
mm,
Obviously, we was not getting so much money, but
mm,
we was not really. We didn't have to pay for the rent. We didn't have to pay for the
mm,
electricity and stuff. So it was okay. We could deal with it. So honestly, to me, it was not so bad. I liked it. Obviously, not everything was great, you know,
mm.
but like especially countries like here, for example, sometimes okay, there was delayed of salaries and stuff like that.
Salary, yeah,
But yeah, no, except from that, honestly, everything was good. Everything was good. And also, in football, most of the time when you're playing, it's easier to deal with the situations. For example, if I was not playing so much, then maybe it would have been different. My mind would have not been the same. So
mm.
so yeah.
Yeah, no, it was good times, man. I'm not gonna lie. It was like you said, we were just young. I just remember loads of stories like um, when
Tell
we was
me,
doing
tell me.
videos at home. That time I
Yeah.
think you was driving and you took the car or something like that. That car that Bambos got for us. And if
Yeah.
anyone saw this car that I'm talking about, it was like run down. It was a run down car. I remember because we was like, no, we need a car to get about around in the island or whatnot.
Oh shit.
And I remember that
Yeah.
time I think you took the car and I think you went to a ditch or something like that when
Yeah, I
you
did.
came
I did.
back.
Basically, what happened is, one of our teammates, Isham.
Mm,
Shout out to
mm,
Isham. He taught me how
yes.
to drive like the day
Mm,
before. Yeah, the day before. And I was like, yo, I'm driving good. I can drive and stuff. So we went to get. I think we went to get Mimis. I think.
I think so. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
or his dog. Yeah, we went to get Mimis and his dog. And after,
yeah.
I think we forgot his dog food. So we had to go back. And on the way back, I went back with Mimis only. And in the car, I was like, yo, serious? Like, you just learned yesterday how to drive. He was gassing me up and stuff. I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like, wow, you're driving good and stuff. I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And as he was saying that, I was going faster and faster. And at one point I had to turn, but I was thinking the turn was not as sharp as it was. So when
Yeah,
I turned, I turned too much. So
yeah.
I just found myself in front of the house and I was like, oh, then I turned back, and then phew, the car
I,
started flying. I was like, oh
I
shit.
remember. I remember you came in and you were just like, oh, yeah, the car's in the ditch. I remember we walked to the car and we was like, oh
Yeah.
my god, we need that car. That was it, boy. That car, that was it. That was done with
Yeah,
that car, man.
the car was dead after that. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
dead.
but
But the funniest
but
thing
yeah, man.
was Mimi's reaction though. He never prayed.
Oh,
I've never seen him pray before that. And once we got to the room, he started praying like I was like, "Jeez, this guy
I
really
remember.
got scared."
Yeah, no, but it was fun times, man. It was fun times.
Yeah, yeah, it was
So
fun. It
obviously,
was fun.
when once we was done over there with the team, obviously I went back to the UK. Tell me about what was you doing after that?
After that, I think you mean after the season, right?
Yeah, after the season, yeah.
Yeah. After the season, I think I went back to France. I went back to France, and then yeah, I was waiting for some calls because I needed a new team. I needed a new team, so I was waiting for some calls. I was talking to some people and stuff, and then I remember there was three teams, if I'm not mistaken, three teams that wanted me, but I think they wanted to see me in training. So no, there was one of them that wanted to see me before signing me, and the other two they wanted to sign me directly. But the only one that wanted to see me in training was the only one that was trying to get promoted, to the first division. There was two second division teams. So I was like, okay, you know what? Since the other two they really want me, even if I go to this team first and then I don't sign there, I can still go to the other two. So I went to that team, which is called Otelos. I went to that team and I trained. I think a couple of days. I think a couple of days, and then The coach was like, yeah, that's the one I need. Then I signed, and we started preseason and everything. We had a great season. We got promoted, and yeah, it was good. It was good. I really enjoyed my time there. Really, really.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then from there, you stayed on in Cyprus. You didn't really move from there, did you?
Yeah, no, I stayed there. I got promoted with Otelos. Then I had some teams as well in first division that wanted me. Okay, that was interested in me because I didn't see any contract offers on the table. But we was talking and stuff. But I thought about it. Me and the guy that was looking after me at this time, and we thought about it together, and we said, "No, you know what? It's better to stay here, even though the salary was less
Mhm.
than the other teams, but at least there in Otelos, I knew I was going to play,
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
so I said, yeah, it's better to stay here, and have as many match as possible, and then from there we'll see. And that's what I did, and then I played almost all the games. Yeah, just unfortunately we went back down, but then I went to another team in Cyprus, first division.
Okay. So then you got a call up to the Gabon national team. Tell me about
Yeah,
that. How was that like when you got the call?
well, honestly, I was happy. I was like, wow, I'm going to play for my national team, for my country. And that's the only country I've always wanted to play for, Even if I was in Paris Saint-Germain right now and I could have choose between France and Gabon, I would have played for Gabon, 100%. That's what I've always said since I was young. So I was really happy, man. I was really happy. And obviously how it works, you know already before people, that you're going to get called up and stuff. So, bro, when they contacted me at first, I was very, very happy, man. I was very happy.
And
I
then
was like, the dream came
going
true.
there, I can imagine for you and your family
Yeah.
as well. So when you went and you saw the players like Aubameyang, you saw Lerma and things like that, did you think the standard was very high, or did you think like, yeah, I can play with these guys?
Yeah. Now, of course, the standard was very high, but I was not like, wow, I will never be able to play. I was like, yeah, of course I can play. But the thing is, also, I was very confident at the time. I was very confident. Everything was going well for me. So I think even that's the thing that that messed me up a bit because I'm somebody. Okay, I'm training. I'm training hard and stuff, but I don't put as much how could I say that, like intensity in
Mm-hmm.
training than I do in games. And
Yeah,
when
yeah,
I went there, I trained, just like I was in club,
yeah.
So I think that's a mistake for me because I should have, tried to show all I had, because I was new, nobody knew me, but yeah, that's the only thing I could say. But no, I was not like, no, I will never be able to play and stuff. No, I knew I could play. Obviously, they have some very, very good players there. It's national team level, so obviously it's international level. So of course they are going to be very good. I knew already what to expect.
Mm. And did the senior players make you feel comfortable when you came in?
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, yeah, they all made me feel comfortable. So for this, yeah, there was no problem about that.
Okay, okay. So, like, as a player, what's one thing that you look for in a coach?
The coach, um, I would say he needs to know how to get the best out of his players. Yeah, so he needs to know how to speak to his players and what will switch them on.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm. So getting to know the players more on a different, because not
yeah,
everyone reacts the same. So you have to
yeah,
get.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, a lot of players that I've spoken to anyway, they've kind of said the same sort of thing. Like it's important to be a man manager in it, like because
yeah,
like we said, not everyone reacts the same. Like even when we was playing, like you said, when you was training, you was a bit more relaxed. Where like my approach, I just wanted to do well. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like
yeah,
the manager had to deal with us differently. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah. Of
no,
course.
it's important. It's important. So football's not obviously it's not a long career. Have you ever thought about what you would do next?
Yeah, of course. I thought about it already. I'm even thinking about it right now because you never know what can happen, you know. So
Mm.
yeah, yeah, I did.
Will you stay in football or will you just do something different?
I think I'm gonna try to do a bit of both, you know. I'm gonna try to stay involved in football, obviously, like to give some advices, you know, not to let people make the same mistakes that I've done, and also have some other businesses on the side, you know,
Mhm.
not to only rely on football.
Mm. So in terms of like coaching or anything like that, that's not something that you're looking to do.
Nah, not at all. Nah, not at all.
I see that that you've been doing a bit of MMA. Is that what you wanna
Yeah.
get involved in that? Yeah.
No, no, no. I actually wanted to have a competition, you know, like to have a, oh, no, I would say, yeah, I would, okay, not a match, but like a fight, but obviously I cannot do it. But no, I love combat sports as well. I love combat sports. So anytime I have free time, like let's say, for example, in summer and stuff like that, you know, instead of walking the same way as I'm doing during the season, you know, with the ball and stuff like that. Sometimes, you know, I'll go to some boxing lessons, MMA lessons, you know. So that's good. And I've also, you know, my dad is done like I think 7 martial arts. Yeah,
Okay.
so I kind of grew up with it as well, you know. So I really like martial arts. I really like
Mm.
it. So yeah.
What do you think? What do you think of Khabib and Tony? Obviously, I don't think it's gonna happen. This is what like the sixth time like this is
Yeah,
not happening or
yeah,
something like that.
it's
That
the
fight
fifth
is
time.
cursed. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's the fifth time. People are saying this fight is cursed. I don't know. I
Yeah.
think they're gonna fight. I think they're gonna fight one day. But honestly, right now in the lightweight division, I don't see anybody that can beat Khabib. I don't see nobody that can beat him right now.
So you think Khabib would win between Tony and
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
definitely. Yeah, he will. Yeah,
Tony's a crazy man as well.
I know. But the thing is, Khabib, everybody knows what he's going to do, but he still does
Yeah.
it. It's just like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
Messi, you know he want to cut inside, but he will still do it. And then, okay, if you stay too much on his left side, then he's just gonna go straight. It's the same thing. So if you just like this, I don't know if you saw the fight with Conor. You know, when he was
Yeah. Yeah.
expecting him to take him down, he put his hand down and then he just punched him in the chin, and he just got dropped. You know, so you know what he's going to do, but can you stop it? That's the
Yeah,
thing.
it's a different thing. Now, to be honest, like I've watched Khabib live. I watched him against Poirier, and
Yeah. Oh yeah.
when
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
he was it was just a just the way he moves around the octagon, and like he's a
Mm,
high level athlete. Like you said, it's like Messi. He's that sort of level in the UFC. He's that Messi, like Ronaldo. He's very very high at what he does. Like, do you know what I mean? And
yeah.
like, even when Poirier had him in a headlock, I was thinking, no, like, and he was just wiggling his head, and I was thinking he's gonna get out of this, you know. Because at the
Yeah,
beginning,
bro.
everyone was like a bit shocked, thinking, "Is this gonna be it?" But then he just started wiggling, 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 and then
Mm.
just does what Khabib does. Do you know what I'm saying? But
Trust
yeah,
me. He
man,
said he said I just more people.
he
This
does
guy
though.
is crazy.
He does, man. He does. So going back to like the football, is there any advice you would give to young players coming up at the moment?
Yeah, I would say the most important thing is to be honest with himself. You know, yeah, that's the main thing, because obviously I could say, yeah, just work hard and stuff, but everybody will tell you that, you know, in anything in life you have to work hard. If you really want it, you have to work hard. But to me, the most important thing is to be honest with himself. You know, so if you want something, you know how to get it. But then, have you done what you need to do to get it? That's the question you have to ask yourself all the time. So because only you know what you're doing. You know, even if, okay, let's say you're going to the gym when the coach is there, or in the training room and stuff like that, but when you go home, if you eat like 2 packs of crisps and stuff, and drink like 4 colas and stuff like that, then it's pointless. So you have to be honest to yourself, and ask yourself the right questions. Have I done enough? Am I doing the right thing? So so yeah.
No, powerful. So I'm gonna ask you the last question now. I kind of know what you're gonna answer here, but Messi or Ronaldo?
To me, I would say Ronaldo.
Mm. Is that because of the work rate, like what you're talking about?
No, 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 no. Not only that, because okay, Messi to me is gifted, is more gifted, but Ronaldo is a hard worker. So, like, let's say for us, it's easier to look like Ronaldo and than to look like Messi.
Mm,
Ronaldo is telling everybody that by working hard, you can achieve it. So, but Messi is more gifted, and even the way he plays, you see it. He doesn't run so much and stuff. So,
mm.
yeah, to
Yeah, I
me.
kind of, I kind of knew you was going for Ronaldo. Just the way you work as well, because like I said, I've been around you, and you're doing the extras outside of work. Even though you said like maybe at training you're a bit more relaxed, but outside of training you're doing the work. Like we used to do the press ups and listen to French music. Like you got me into French music, and like
That's
so
me.
I know what you do off the pitch as well, man. But if anyone wants to get in contact with you, what's your Instagrams or Twitter?
Now I don't have Twitter. I have Instagram. My Instagram is Obam underscore 24. OBAME underscore 24.
Okay, cool, cool. I'll put it in the description anyway. But Ulysse, appreciate your time, bro. And I wish you all the success. Obviously, hopefully, after all this is all done, the season goes back to normal. And I wish you all the best, bro.
Yes, me too, bro. Thanks for having me, bro.